If you go back to Genesis chapter 1, the task of the human beings made in God's image is to reflect God into the world. I see the image bearingness in terms of an angled mirror. If you imagine God looking down and being reflected by this angled mirror into the rest of creation. And likewise, the rest of creation is being reflected back to God. And that's something about what human beings are there for, to be God's wise stewards looking after creation, but also to gather up everything that the creation has been doing and to come and present it before God. As in Genesis chapter 1, human beings are made to be the flower and the crown of creation. And then the whole point is to voice creation's praise, to take the inanimate, apparently inarticulate praise of creation. You get it in the Psalms, of course, about the trees clapping their hands and the hills celebrating and the valleys shouting for joy and singing. Now, if you've got the right sort of ears, you may just be able to hear in the music of the wind and so on a bit of that going on. But of course, in a sense, it's a metaphor. And the point is that when the psalmists are doing what they're doing, they are putting into articulate speech the fact that all creation is praising God. And so you get the sequence of thought in Revelation 4, where creation is saying, holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. That is simply what creation is doing. And then the humans say, the 24 elders say, you are worthy to receive this praise because you created all things. What we humans do is we add the word because to what creation does. We are given a mind to understand that God is worthy, and so instead of just doing this worship thing like the trees and the waterfalls do, we are given the task of thinking why we would do it and then choosing to do it. There are some sort of primary scriptural resources here, and I think of Revelation chapter 4, which is this vision that John the seer has of the heavenly dimension of present earthly reality. And it begins with these 4 living creatures who are representing the non-human creation, and they are simply praising God and saying, holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. That's what they're saying all the time. And I preached a rather fanciful sermon some years ago in which I said, basically, this is the song the penguins are singing as they march around the ice. This is the song that the trees are singing when they come out into blossom and so on. And I think one of the things that the church is called to do is it's called to make articulate the praise of all creation. And creation is praising God by being who God has called it to be. And we humans are given a mind and words to sum that up and present it before God. So however I'm feeling, whatever's going on in my life, it's rather like that wonderful thing in the book of the prophet Habakkuk, where he says, though the fig tree doesn't blossom, though there are no grapes on the vine, yet I will glory in my God. You know, there's a sense of God is worthy to be praised, and it is my duty as a human being to gather up the praises of creation and present them before his throne.